Okay, I'm going to show you how to make different forms for different classes, or how to separate your forms in the same form for different classes. Right. So let's say you want to make a template, like a standard exam or test or quiz or survey or whatever it is, but you have three sections of that class. Okay. So I know if I teach three sections of US history, I want to give them the same test, but I want to be able to separate out the three different classes. So how I always used to do it is I would just make one template of a test, right? So I would have a basic test, right, that I could use every year as a template, and then I would make different copies of that test. So, for example, let me show you. Right. So I'm scrolling through my. All right. So here is a version of this. Okay. And this is Leanna because I made a copy of hers or whatever I did. I don't know, but this was our basic form. Okay. This was our midterm. All right. If you notice, I don't have any responses. Okay. So what I did is I made separate copies of it. All right. By pretty simple, make a copy. Okay. Make a copy. So I'm going to go here and put block 5 ABC. I know that this form will be for block 5 ABC class. Okay. And I hit OK. All right. So now what I can do is when I go to my classes, right, we'll just use our Google Classroom today. All right. Let's say this was block 5 ABC AP US history. All right. What I would do is I would go to classwork. I would create an assignment. I usually don't use the quiz assignment. It's a little clunky. I would just create an assignment. I would call this the midterm. All right. I would add some instructions. Okay. And then I would add from my Google Drive, straight from my Google Drive, that form that I just made a copy of. Right. And it should come right up in recent. Okay. Block 5 ABC AP US midterm exam. All right. Out of 100 points, I'll give it a due date of the day that it's due. So that's today. And I would make it due at the end of the period. Right. So I don't even remember when periods end. I don't know. Let's say 11:59. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. And I would give it a topic. Okay. I would put it in midterm, whatever it is, create a topic, doesn't really matter. And I would assign it. Okay. So now I've created a specific form from the first form, right, for my specific class. And I would do that for block 3, ABC. I would do it for all 3 different classes so that I would end up working with 3 different forms, right? Just as if I had a folder full of paper tests. Like I have a folder for this class, a folder for this class, a folder for that class. Pretty simple, right? I've done that pretty much forever. And this year, before we left for school, found myself getting a little bit lazier. Didn't feel like creating 3 different forms. So what I started to do is just create one form and use a drop-down menu. Okay, so I know we did this here. All right, so this was my economics exam for my AP Gov Kids this year. And the first question is, which class are you in? Okay, I had 3 classes, block 2A, B, 1D, block 3B, C, okay? And that's the first thing kids answered. All right, and then I gave them the test. Okay, I didn't create 3 separate tests or 3 separate forms. I created one. All I added was this question right here. All right, so you can see in my responses, okay, obviously there should be a nice even number of kids. Okay, now, how do I do that? All right, so it's pretty simple. All right, I'd go underneath my description. All right, I would add a question. Which class are you in? And you can do multiple choice. Okay, all right, I like drop down. Class 1, class 2, class 3. I would make this required, all right, especially if you have a lot of classes. And then that would be it. So if you preview this, all right, before they even start the test, they have to pick which class they're in. Okay, so how does that help you? All right, let me go back to my economics exam. That helps you not so much in the form, all right? It actually, if you want to break stuff down by class, it helps you in your Google Sheet. All right. So as you can see here, every form is linked to a Google Sheet, and this has tons of information, okay? It actually has every kid and every response that they had to all of 50 questions that I had, right? But when I'm all said and done, when I'm done grading this test, and I release scores, right? And I want to just easily add grades to my grade book, okay? I can just come here to which class you're in. I'm going to click on this little triangle right here, this drop-down triangle, and I'm going to sort the sheet. You can go Z to A, A to Z, it doesn't really matter, but what it does is it sorts the sheet now based on class. Okay, so I have right here all of my 2AB, 1D kids right here, and their scores and their email addresses. Right there. Okay, and then I have all my other kids. So it's nice and neat, and it's not necessarily in alphabetical order. Okay, I could go funky on this, and I could, add some filters and sorting to this, but that's how you break it down by class. Okay, and that's how you do it. All right. Thanks for watching my tutorial.